So social inclusion is the process of improving the terms on which individuals and groups take part in society and improving the ability, opportunity, and dignity of those who are disadvantaged based on their identity, like so bringing them back into society. So employment is social inclusion. You're working around people, you're talking to different people that come in. And so when you're employed, you have if you work at as a server, you have people you're talking to every day, all the time. You have your coworkers that are there to support you and help you. You have that one community that you're socially included in. Like anyone that works, you're included in that community. So even though my mom works at a full-time job in a different community, we understand the busy schedules, the dealing with different people. So I feel like that's a big part of social inclusion is employment, is you're in the community working with different members of the community. Poverty relates to it, social inclusion, or physical health. Let's do physical health, not poverty. Physical health relates to social inclusion because if you're in bad physical health, then it's mostly experienced by mental problems, but then you're struggling to work and not finding work. But if you're in good physical health, you find yourself going back to the employed and working with those communities. So if you're in good physical health, you're able to get out and go work with different people and not struggle with dealing with other people and their complaints. It's not, or if you get into an argument, you're not freaking out. You know how to keep your calm and not go from 0 to 100 and freak out and get really upset. Or since physical health, its physical health is so strongly related to mental health, it's harder if you're in good mental health too. It's easier to keep a job than with not great mental health because you could have high risk behaviors and you could maybe because of your physical health you might not be showing up to work because your mental health is so bad, you're depressed, you're anxious, you can't go in and deal with what is unknown. And if your physical health isn't great because you're not getting the sleep and the food and the exercise that you need, you can't hold that employment. Which can result in poverty, which is a social exclusion. So if you have the employment and the good physical health, you're not in poverty. You can, let's say, afford housing. So then in the housing, you're in that community, the neighborhood community, or where you're you have all the different parents and all the kids, and you want are always talking to each other and have them there for support. At least in my neighborhood, we talk to all each other we're a community. So housing is a big one because it helps you be able to get with other families, and then when you meet those other families, you go out with each other and you're in a different community within a community. So you're being able to get out, go out, be with other people. So social inclusion for all of these, I feel like, is very important, because if you're in a house, you have or even apartment styles, you have those communities where you are all together and you're included in that, within that. Like employment, you have your own little community, so they all work together to be socially included. Like going back to the trajectory of exclusion, if you turn it around, you have you're pouring yourself in socially. You have your employment, you have a house, you have better mental health, you're gaining more networks, you're getting more money, and you don't have any mental health problems. It's all just one big circle. I feel like even if one of them falls out, though, you're still socially included. You still have all those communities and inclusions to get you back to where you need to be.